Hey friends, hey, welcome back to SheSoDramatic. Thanks so much for joining me for another video. I know it's dark right now, but it's because I'm down here in my basement, because in today's video I want to share with you a little patio project that I'm working on. I really want to create some outdoor living under my deck. Right now there's not much under there, and it's just not like visually appealing. And I want to create a space, first of all, that's kind of zen and beautiful and comfortable, and just a place that I wouldn't mind, spending time in the morning drinking coffee, maybe after I get off the treadmill. The treadmill's down here, you guys. The basement is a mess. Don't mind that. That's not what this video is about. But anyway, I'm trying to create a space under my deck that is going to just kind of extend our living into some outdoor living, and I just want to make a beautiful space. So anyway, I want to show you the before, and these little planter boxes I purchased from Amazon, and I'm going to place out there on the patio once we get everything cleaned up and everything. They're not as big as I thought they would be, so I'm a little disappointed about that, but we'll figure it out. I'm still going to figure out a way to use them. So anyway, let's go outside so I can show you what I'm working with. So this is the view when you first open the door, and this is the patio under the deck. So let me step out here, and I'll step out into the yard a little bit so you can have a better overall view of what I'm working with. So it's not a huge space. It's the perfect size, I think. And my husband strung some lights up there last summer, which I really loved. We had the table fire pit down here last summer, but we moved it up. We moved it up there. So I think we're gonna bring it back down here, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, I either want to get rid of this storage bin or maybe paint it or something, because it's looking really beat up right now. I also want to, of course, we're going to get everything swept up, but in that corner over there, I want to put either a fountain or some type of water garden. My husband said that I could paint that wall, so I'm kind of excited about that. And then we need to restain this. I don't know what to call this. Would you call it a planter box? I'm not really sure what to call it. And I also don't know what this tree or bush is that was planted in it. When we purchased a home, it was last spring. So it was like really the beginning of March. And so nothing was in bloom. We didn't know what any of the plants or trees were, and we really didn't think to ask. So once we moved in and everything started coming to life around like late April, early May, that's when I had to start Googling stuff like, what is this? And so I still haven't Googled this one. Anyway, what was I saying? We're going to restain this. We want to restain this planter box, or whatever you would call it. All right. And then I do want an outdoor rug. Once we get everything swept up, I would love to have a rug out here. My cushions that go on these seats, they're okay. Pulling them out of the storage. They're just okay. I'm not in love with them, but I also really don't know if it's in the budget to replace them. So that's what the seats look like with the cushions. So I think I'm gonna have to hold on to them for now, because like I said, I don't have it in the budget to replace them just yet. So okay, so my gardening plans for down here, because we're under the deck, as you can see, there's not a lot of sun down here, so I need to plant things that will thrive in the shade. Look at that bee. Can y'all see that? We got some carpenter bees that, can you see it? We've got some carpenter bees that we really need to address, because they were drilling holes in the deck last year. So I'm gonna have to tell my husband. Oof, I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna have to tell my husband that I'm seeing them. What was I saying? Oh, I need to plant some things down here that will thrive in the shade. So I'm going to put a succulent garden down here, and I'm going to make that succulent garden into a little fairy garden. And so I'm very excited about that. What else is going to happen in this space? I think that's pretty much it. I also wanted to show you, oh my gosh, my husband, let me close this, is fit to be tied about the birds that have made a home under our deck. Let me show you guys. So first, let me show you this this trampoline over here. We were noticing that the edges, the cushion that goes around the trampoline, we were noticing that it was getting so torn up, and we thought it was just winter wear, even though we've had that trampoline for like, I don't know how long, maybe 5-6 years, and that had never happened before. But just all of the cushion and padding around the edge was just getting tore up, and we could not figure it out. Y'all, it's the birds. They were taking pieces from the cushion, and this is proof, because there's a piece of it hanging here. They've been building nests under this deck, you all, and my husband is fit to be tied. Zoom in. So, oh, my finger. So there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There was one up here, but it looks like it might have gotten knocked down. But anyway, so this mess, all of this mess, we learned the birds been picking the trampoline apart, y'all, to make their nest. Ain't that crazy? I'm gonna show you. Look what they've done to the cushion. Okay, so just wanted to show you that. I'll show you some footage of us tackling the different little cleanup projects and me planting the little succulent fairy garden, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like after we're done. Comment down below and let me know if you think we can repurchase the cushion that goes around the trampoline. Anybody with a trampoline? All right. Okay. Hey friends, hey. All right, so we have made some progress. As you can see behind me, the cement wall has been painted a lighter color, so I think that's going to do a lot to contribute to the vibe that I'm going for. And also this planter box has been restained. Shout out to the husband and my sons who were able to do this for me for Mother's Day as a part of this whole project. So what we're working on today, I've got a little station set up here where I'm going to be planting these succulent plants into this big planter, and I want to create a fairy garden. That's something that I've been wanting to create for a couple of years, and just never had the time to do it. Well, I ain't got nothing but time now. So this is what I want to do with this space. I want to add a fairy garden to this space. So I will turn the camera around and I will show you what I'm working with. Okay, so here's my setup. So starting here are the plants that I'm going to add to the fairy garden. These are the varieties of succulents that I'll be using. And I don't know the names of none of these, y'all, because I am a beginner. Hope you can hear me. I hope it's not too loud out here. But it's so funny. My sister actually gifted this little plant to me here recently, and she had no idea what I was working on. So that worked out perfectly. And then I have just some succulent plant food that I want to use. A couple of bags of Spanish moss that I got from Lowe's. And then I turned around and saw this at Dollar Tree. So now that I know Dollar Tree carries it, that's where I'll be getting it from. Some other types of just moss stones, I guess is what these are called. And these are all just for me to use as fillers. Here's some other items I got from the Dollar Tree. Now keep in mind, I've been collecting this stuff for several months, up to a year actually, because I knew that I wanted to do this fairy garden. So as I would see little cute things along the way, I would just pick it up. So these come from Dollar Tree. I got some stones and rocks also from the Dollar Tree, just to kind of add a little texture and decor to the little fairy garden. I got some, what do they call these, like planter floral foam is what they call it, because I'm thinking that I want to create some height in the pot. Here's the pot, by the way. So I know that I'm going to want to create some height. So I got some floral foam and I got my trusty glue gun over there. Also, the Dollar Tree had this kind of nautical rope that I've actually used on a craft project in the house. And so I just brought it out in case I can use it out here. And then here's a little succulent planter that was already put together. This was at Lowe's. And I thought this was really cute. And so this is in a hanging basket. So I'm going to figure out a way that I can just kind of situate this near my fairy garden. I think that will complement it. And then here, y'all, here are the little pieces that I will add to the fairy garden. And I have collected these from Dollar Tree and Etsy over the last year. I want to say, all of these items here came from the Dollar Tree. They started putting this stuff out, I want to say like right after Valentine's Day. So all of these items came from the Dollar Tree, but in order to find some little black fairies, I had to go through Etsy. And so that's where these came from, along with the little frog and the little book bench, because y'all know how I feel about libraries and books and just little spaces that we can carve out for ourselves for reading nooks. So I thought that would be cute. I was really going for a Princess and the Frog theme, but Disney was tripping on their little figurines for the Princess and the Frog. They wanted way too much money, so we figured something else out. So that's that. And then down here I have a couple of different kinds of potting mixes. One is just a regular potting mix, and then these two bags are specific for succulents, and then some tools. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. And again, that's the pot that I'm going to be using. So all right, let's get it together. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. Y'all will see how it turns out, but I'm just trying to add little elements of, I don't know, texture and just different things to make it look interesting. So here's what we're looking like so far. All right, be back. All right, friends. Welcome to my little fairy garden. So here's what we're working with. I am a little bit nervous about this succulent because the more I read up on it, I really don't think it's an outdoor plant. I think it's an indoor plant. So I'm a little bit nervous about that one. But all of the other ones I think will do well. So I used these little rocks that I got from Dollar Tree to kind of carve out a little path, a little fairy path. And I think that turned out pretty cute. It added a little texture and interest. I wanted to add a little bit of height. So actually this succulent came in that pot, and so I just took the plant out and filled it with dirt and rocks, and then I put my little fairy troll, I don't know what to call it, little fairy house on top, just to kind of create a little interest. Now what will be interesting, I just thought of this, is to create some kind of little rope ladder. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got an idea. Hold on. Y'all, so I cut up this nautical rope, this decorative nautical rope that I told you I got from Dollar Tree, right? I cut it, and then I stuck some toothpicks in it. Girl, look at my little rope ladder. So now I'm about to hot glue this to the side of the pot. Hold on. There. Isn't that better? Too cute. Oh my God, that was kind of fun to do, kind of impromptu. So anyway, I used the little knickknacks that I got from the Dollar Tree, the little fairy garden knickknacks. And I found that those balls, these moss balls, or moss stones is what they're called, moss stones. I'm using those for height. So I was able to hot glue the little welcome sign to one of the moss stones. And I did kind of the same thing over here with that little windmill. So I think I might have to pack these a little bit better so that they'll stay upright. But we'll see. And then I just found some flat rocks in our little landscape area at the front of the house to hot glue this little beehive too. And then there's another little chocolate fairy, and she's sitting on another moss stone. And there's another little windmill back there. And there's my other little chocolate fairy talking to her squirrel friend. And then this is just a little leaf fountain situation with a little bitty frog on it. I don't know if it'll focus, that little bitty frog on there. And then there is my rope ladder with toothpicks leading up to the fairy house. So this was pretty fun. So this is my first attempt at a fairy garden, and I know that I will do many more because now I'm hooked. All right, so stay tuned for the patio reveal. All right, friends, so here is the final reveal. I like the way that it turned out. This is going to be a nice little area to vibe in the evenings this summer. There's my little fairy garden that I worked on, which I absolutely love. I think one other thing I want to add to this area is a plant stand that I can put that succulent arrangement on, just to give it some height right here. But so as you saw in the pictures or the video footage that I captured before, my husband and my sons painted this wall, and then they restained this planter box here with this lilac bush in it. It was in bad need of restaining, so they did that. And it still has a very distressed and rustic look to it, which I'm not mad at it. I actually like it. So in addition to restaining that, they also restained the beams or the poles that support the deck. So those got a nice coat of stain. And I think it looks good. This is definitely a spot to vibe in. Like I said, I purchased the rug from Big Lots. The furniture was repurposed from what we have up on the deck. So I just pulled it down here, and then we'll get new deck furniture. And I think that will work just fine for this season. So this is going to be a nice little chill spot for some wine this summer, or some chilled margaritas. And then moving right on into the fall, I will definitely be having my hot toddies out here. So this little area here, I tried to form some privacy because, as you can see, we're facing a street right there. So I have played around with the idea of adding some sheer panels to this area and being able to kind of open and close them. I've seen that done, but I just got to figure out a way that I could do it and make it look elegant on a budget. So that probably won't get done this season. So in the meantime, I just have these planter boxes here that have this lattice back on it. So that's giving me a little bit of, just a tiny bit of a barrier. And then in addition, I added these trees in between. So as they get fuller, you know, it'll just be a little bit more privacy. So I think that's gonna work for now. If you're sitting right here, or even over here, it's a little bit of privacy from the street. Everybody don't need to see what we're drinking on. Oh goodness. So yeah, and the lights is gonna be really, really nice at night, with the mood of the lights. That's gonna be a nice touch. I've just got them blinking. I just have them blinking right now so you can kind of see, so you can see them, because obviously it's still daytime. I wanted to be able to see and kind of get an idea of what they may look like in the evening. But yeah, y'all, that's the vibe. That's my citronella plant right there to keep the mosquitoes away. And then I've got a couple of ferns hanging here. Update on the birds, y'all. My husband has removed it's probably going on 6 or 7 nests from under this deck, right? We thought we were done with the bird's nest. You know, hopefully I told you in a different clip, the birds have picked apart my trampoline cushion, right? Y'all saw that in a different video. They've picked this apart, and that's what they were using to create their nest. So we got all that cleaned up, made sure all the eggs were hatched, and we took the nest down. Tell me why we've got a new nest in this fern plant right here. Tell me why, with brand new babies in it. These birds are so disrespectful. I'm gonna be fighting these birds all summer. I already know it. But anywho, so just wanted to give you a final look. Thanks so much for hanging out with me as I work on this little patio project. It was fun. I think like I said, I'm really gonna enjoy hanging out here in the evening and just vibing with the hubby. So you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this kind of content, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, where there's a little bit of everything here, y'all. A little bit of theater art, book reviews, and lifestyle. Lifestyle on a budget, hon. So I hope you are enjoying your day, whatever day you're watching this, and I hope you are taking time with the people and the things that bring you joy. Isn't that fairy garden cute? Bye, y'all.